Hey, did you hear? Champlain Towers being built again. DAMAC? Dubai developer using Zaha Hadid once again.
Well, I think it's great to use Zaha Hadid for the project. That project obviously had a lot of drama that was involved with it. It collapsed. There was a lot of unfortunate deaths that were a part of that. And so to bring in big names and make sure that like the parts that you can control as a developer are controlled and they're good, I think it's a great, I think it's a safe thing to do rather than to go with a sort of a local person or a unknown developer.
The settlement on that site is that some of that profit goes to those original owners who passed away that were condo unit owners. I thought that to be fascinating.
But not for the renters.
Well, that's what I also think. It's like other people passed, they were not principals, and I don't think they're a part of it.
Yeah, I know. But again, it also depends like how much are they really giving away for that. I think it's a noble thing to do. And I think it's one of those things that they're doing to get their ducks in a row, because there's going to be, it's not going to be an easy development. People are going to fight these guys tooth and nail at every step. And not to mention, structurally, obviously, it was a challenging site to begin with. I mean, an entire high-rise collapsed into the ground as a result of the ground.
I agree. We saw the renderings and we saw a section through it. They're going down 2 stories of parking. Now, look, it's modern. They will have the proper waterproofing and the rest of it. But I don't know if that stops. If the sea level comes up again, like the whole thing may be underwater again.
And you don't need that much for the sea level to come up for Miami to feel it. I mean, even now when it rains heavy, Brickell Avenue turns into a river. So it's
the Miami River extends.
Yeah, pretty much. But they just have to be very careful with that stuff, and they have to make sure that they're making these buyers feel safe. It's very there's a stigma to it. Like you're on the site. People don't even want to be on the site of a cemetery, let alone on the site of a building that collapsed because it was because of the ground, or it was structured
poorly. You know what it was? I don't know if it was poorly. It's just a long time under that salt water. Definitely, eats away at concrete and rebar, and there needed to be inspections, and there weren't.
But then
boom.
You could say that about every building on Miami. Every building in Miami is
what they determined, right? There was something else I thought was really interesting. There was a conflict, and they were saying, hey, we want a memorial on the site. Yeah. Right? They're like, we want you to take square footage and make a memorial.
I don't know if as a business, as a project, it makes sense to have a memorial on the site. I know that when the World Trade Towers went down, they took the site of where those 2 towers were and turned the actual site into a memorial, and it worked. They built around it. They built more square footage around it, actually. So in that regard, it worked. For a condominium in Miami Beach, I don't know if I want to walk by a memorial every day going into the lobby. It's very depressing to me.
Well, I was just thinking, if I'm paying for this absolutely insane condominium on that space, the one thing I don't want is that exclusivity. Like, I get it that you need to pay your respects, but like, let's set something up elsewhere. So I don't blame the developer for that aspect of it. Right. Honestly.
Actually, maybe instead of giving money to all the former owners, maybe what he can do is buy a separate location for the memorials, or the sculpture or whatever they want.
I think they're going to come up with something. You got to go somewhere to pay your respects. Yeah. Maybe it'll be close by, but I just don't think it should be on site.
Right. No, I agree.